Well, hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where we've got a very interesting show lined up. We've got Ryan Hillary, who's from the famous Hillary family here in Durban, and he's putting together a trip to go and see the Breeders' Cup this year, and that's going to be fantastic. I think he's doing it in conjunction with Phil Giorgio, who is the expert on these things, and Paul will be chatting to them. But you had a good weekend.
Yeah, good weekend, no complaints. Football, I haven't had a call from any of my Man United mates. We gave them a walloping. I don't think 3-0 was a true reflection of the game, but we'll take it.
Why wasn't it a true reflection of the
game? Well,
game?
at 0-0 they had a great chance to go one up, and our keeper saved it. But I think the best chances fell to us, and we took 3 of them. And I feel that the other sides are struggling. Man City struggled. They were a little fortunate not to...
We were useless. Again.
Arsenal looked home and then threw it away.
Again.
Again.
The Foxes? How about the Foxes?
Yeah, Dogshire Dixon's side.
Yeah.
They march on 2-0. Vardy. I think they need 3 more wins to guarantee it.
Yeah.
And mathematically, still 4 or 5 sides can win it, but it looks like it's just about down to 2.
They've got it in the bag. They've got an easy run in. Looks like they should be.
I looked at the runners, James. You're not going to Man United.
The last 2 games are...
Man United and Chelsea, they could lose both.
Yeah, those are the last 2 games. But
they're staggered in between. They've got a much harder run than Spurs. I looked at it last night.
Is that so?
Yeah.
So you're confident, are you?
No, not at all. You know,
Spurs, they never win anything. So you might as well just accept that they're not going to win this.
No, we fight on to death. We played good football. We're a good side today.
I might as well have a go at you. Did you stay up? You know I'm a bit blurry. I had to stay up and watch the golf last night.
Yeah, you got a face for radio today.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about that.
I think. Please take the camera off me. Keep it on that.
I think I fell asleep in the golf too. And when I went to bed, Spieth was leading, but he threw it away, I believe.
He 12. You know that little par 3, the shortest hole on the golf course. Hit it straight in the water, or got on the bank and then went back in the water. Then measured back his distance to hit it on the green. And fluffed it. I promise you, you haven't fluffed a ball like that. He fluffed it straight in the water. Never even got over the thing. So he was about 10 or 15 yards out with his second shot. Then he went back and hit it again, then hit it over the green into the back bunker.
Ooh.
And up and down. It was a great up and down. And then he still fought on. He's a great player, Spieth. Yeah. But I'm very pleased for Danny Willett. I think that his first victory of his was last year in the Nedbank, not last year, the year before he won the Nedbank. That was the first breakthrough for him.
He was told he wasn't going to make it as a golfer when he was younger.
Yeah, apparently what happened was that his brother was quite a good golfer, and his brother said, "Oh, you'll never beat me." And he went out and beat his brother, and now he's beaten the world. And it's fantastic for the English because Sir Nick Faldo was the last Englishman to win, and Lee Westwood ran second. He was a bit stiff, Lee. Yeah. He still can never make one of those.
And always stays and ready for it down the field.
Down the field. South Africans were useless.
Yeah, didn't play well.
Slotsel never made the cut. Ernie's 5-putted on the first day.
They're making the best.
Did you see Ernie's sword fighting on the first day?
I saw him. I saw he couldn't get it right.
Blitzbokker, they've lost a bit.
I watched the semis. They were a stiff game. Guys going through to score. He decides to kick it instead of pick it up. Yeah. Kicks it past the dead ball line. No, that was good sport all round this weekend.
Yeah. So was there anything else that we should be mentioning?
Sharks. Lions too good for us.
I didn't want to mention the Sharks.
Lions too good for us.
Far too good. The Lions are too good for everyone.
Yeah, they're the best SA side.
How's Ackerman's son? Do you see him playing on the flank? He's a dead ringer.
Gee, that old Akkerboom.
Dead ringer. Anyway, we've got to talk about a bit of racing, and we'll kick off with our 3 to follow.
His dad, distorted humor, he's probably one of his best sons at stud.
I'll have another, wins the Derby.
I'll have another in the Preakness.
Lilacs and Lace, 48-1, upset.
He's just a big, strong, leggy horse.
Right, well, 3 to follow. We're going to Cape Town. We're going to go and have a look. They had racing on Tuesday there, and Joey Ramsden stepped out some juveniles in the first 2 races that looked pretty nice. And we're going to go to the first race, and he stepped out a son of New Approach. It was quite expensive, and this ran a cracking race, but the horse that ran second here, Always in Charge, is well worth having a look at as well.
Yeah, as you can see here, this horse that we picked out in New Dawn's a beautiful animal, and he runs a very good debut fourth, not beaten far. The winner is down the inside, Moonrise Sensation, who was an expensive VAR, but is a beautiful horse as well. So this race, I think the form might just hold up in time. And as I say, New Dawn is just off them. And as James said, Always in Charge, Vaughan Marshall's horse, runs a good race. The race looks to be, for all intents and purposes, when they're into the last 2 furlongs, between the 2 horses down the left-hand side of your screen.
Yeah, well, that's obviously the 2 horses that have raced, and Moonrise Sensation, Georgian Chant, they're up there right down the inside. Those are the 2 that are leading down the inside. Here, New Dawn's one from the left on the outside here, and Always in Charge goes right through the middle of them. And he looks like he might win it at this stage. Always in Charge. Vaughan Marshall trains him. Was nicely tuned up, this one. On the inside, you've got the 2 fighting it out, and here the rest of them come with a run. And Always in Charge flies at the 2 and down the inside at the death, and just doesn't get up. Looked like he'd got up, didn't it?
Very good runs by them. So I think keep an eye on those horses. But the horse we found is a real nice specimen, and it's called a New Dawn. But Always in Charge won't be in the maidens long either.
Right, we're going to move on and go and have a look at Greyville on Wednesday. They had some very nice racing at Greyville. Dean Canema's got a string here to die for. He's really winning everything. And this one ran second first time out, Mrs. Minver. It's by Dynasty. It was bred by our friends, the Royden Turners, Greg and Shell Royden Turner. And this filly could be quite useful. Let's go and have a look at her at Greyville.
Yeah, the winner's a horse called Spice Girl, who runs in Alesh Naidu's colours. You can see her coming out of 6 with the red sleeves. Very quick, he gets urged to the front. Whereas Miss Minver is in the blue and white colours and very deep. As you can see, on the outside of the field is the horse we found. This ends up runner-up. The winner is the horse who's in the front, the VAR called Spice Girl, who wins a very good race. But we like the look of the runner-up, Miss Minver.
Well, the winner, bred to be early, bred to be quick, bred to be precocious. And the Dynasty filly out of quite that good race mare, Paul Zeeth, she was by Singspiel. I think Duncan Howell's trained her.
He had it for a spat,
yeah. And you'd think that this one will really improve quite a lot from where she is here.
Yeah, into the stretch now, and you can see the money was on Spice Girl. She's enjoyed it out front. Nothing gets close there. 3 or 4 of them chasing, but right on the outside fence, Andy Delpesh is urging Miss Minver to run on. And now he gives her a smack behind. She's probably in 6th, 7th at the moment, but she picks it up to run second. They're trying hard to get this leader, Spice Girl, but she's home and rubbed down. And here on the outside fence is the horse we found.
Yeah, runs on really well the last 200. You'd expect that over 1,200 meters. She's bred to go further, and she ran on extremely well. She's really worth having a close look at. Right, we're going to go from there, and we're going to go to Scottsville on Sunday. And this colt ended up in a very strong field. It's also yours left, Pluck. This is his sire's name. Pluck won Breeders' Cup.
Yeah. Pluck's got the South African connection. It's Secret Pact, Secret Heart, all that's on the
that's the
on
family.
side,
I think it was bred
side.
by was it bred by Barry Owen?
It might have been, because the horse won the big race from Very Pluck's had a couple of runners here. Mark has, he's got Aussie Austin. Yeah, very good. Very smart horse. Looks like Pluck's going to be all right. But this horse of ours, James, we thought he might just need it a little bit. You can see he's green in that. But what people don't realise is, I think Anton Marcus didn't understand when I said a bit on the side. No. Because this horse runs with a leather in his mouth, a bit up here, and pulls the shoe. So it adds to the run. It was a very good run by Moon Shadow.
I think that the first 3 horses all look quite useful here. Funny enough, they weren't the 3 in the betting. There was some others that they
Captain
put their
L's
heads
they
down.
came for,
Captain L they backed, which never got any luck in the race. This might end up being quite a strong field. Let's go and have a look.
Yeah, I was surprised how quickly, there we are, highlighted. But Arthur's a master at the gates. He gets us out very quickly and soon up. But he said as he grabbed it, the bit slipped across his mouth. And from here on in the pink, you You can look at the head on it, James.
Got
It's
his head one side,
One
yeah.
side, yeah. The winner is sat in the middle behind them, probably in 6. Wins a very good race for Mace,
Watch your horse at the
Paul
back
Gadsby.
with the white face.
Yeah, that runs a very good race too,
It's a
James.
cracking race, Mace Roberts'
Mace Roberts is running. That's called King of Random. Here, because of, here on the outside of the group comes your winner, Gunner, for Paul Gadsby and Brandon. And unfortunately, Very Green takes my horse out. I take the next horse house, the next horse house, and the last horse switches. And I know an inquiry was opened. But here, with our heads sideways, not knowing what to do, for a stride or two, I thought we were going to come back.
Yeah, definitely ran on really well. The horse of Michael Roberts runs on really well behind you. But Gunner has flown, and yours still a bit green. He looks like he's going to improve quite nicely. He looks like a nice horse to follow.
Yeah.
So that was 3 to follow. We're going to have a look at Blast from the Past. Now, just on Blast from the Past last week, just to straighten things up, because you know you get these phone calls.
Oh, don't you just?
Yeah. Brian Weed trained Cardinal Fury, okay? It was trained by Gene Hemming, but when it won this race last week, it was trained by Brian Weed. And the second horse, Please Be True. I got all the info, don't worry.
I remember Johnny
Dawson.
Dawson. Yeah, I
Johnny
remember
Dawson,
Johnny Dawson.
yeah. We said Paul Donation.
Yeah, no, Please Be True. I
But
knew it was with
Johnny Dawson, he was the man in charge, and I think Jeff Lloyd rode it. Okay, so we got 2 out of 4 right. Not bad going, but this one we'll probably get none out of 4. Let's go and have a look at the Schweppes Challenge, 1994.
Soft falling rain, pulling clear. Soft falling rains won the SA Nursery by 3.
Racing in the 2000 Guineas. Gates fly and they're racing in the Godolphin Mile.
They're off and racing.
Weight didn't matter. Class tells, soft falling rain, much too good. Soft falling rain, an impressive Guineas winner. Soft falling rain is drawing clear.
He's made it 7 out of 7 by winning here today.
But it's soft falling rain who is powering away. We'll see out the mile in style. A high-class performer wins the Nay of Joel Stakes.
Broke smartly, Clear Creek is right there. Seal Ring with the white blinkers now setting off for the lead. In the middle of your picture, white noseband of Art of Eve. On the extreme left-hand side, Double Door and Dancing Duel, 2 off the left with the green sleeves and green cap. Please Be True, Bluff, the red cap moving up very prominent, and Eldoriza along the rail, red sleeves and red cap. They go to the 1200 in the Schweppes 400,000 Rand Challenge. And out in front by a length and a quarter, Seal Ring, Clear Creek running second. Bluff is third, Eldoriza at the rail is fourth. Just behind that, Take a Walk and Please Be True. Pardaqua in mid-division, giving them about 5 lengths start, then Dancing Duel. Behind that, Art of Eve, Vesta, and then we drop back to Flaming Rock and Sapia. Then Ellie's Truth and Double Dior, the trailer about 12 lengths off them in the Schweppes 400,000 Rand Challenge. They're about to turn for home, Seal Ring the leader. Bluff with the red cap, the first one to challenge, then Clear Creek. Behind that, Take a Walk, Please Be True on the outside. Pardaqua, Eldoriza along the rail, red sleeves and red cap. Flaming Rock is still second last, about 10 lengths off them in the Schweppes. 400 meters to go, Bluff takes it up. Eldoriza along the rail. Here's Pardaqua in the center of your picture, making steady headway. Then Clear Creek, Flaming Rock, 2 off the left, has got a lot of ground to make up. Here's Pardaqua in the center, running a big race. Take a Walk on the inside, Pardaqua. Along the inside, Bluff, Seal Ring and Eldoriza. Pardaqua, Take a Walk. Pardaqua won it from Take a Walk.
Pardaqua, what a good racehorse. He was the horse that was savaged by the groom.
That's right,
Remember?
yeah.
And he was a very good racehorse.
He was a very good racehorse, yeah.
Jeff Woodruff.
Pardaqua?
Yeah, Pardaqua. Short Jeff Woodruff, it was the
I
beginning.
know, every week you blow it guessing
Every
who the
week.
trainers
Well,
are.
anyway,
I'm not even going to venture a
Let's see
guess.
what phone calls we get back. We're going to be back after this little break. We're going to see a race and we'll be back with you.
company along the inside. Kenny Tricks is further back towards their inside. Bombs away, is trying to get into it. Chill Baby, Chill and Felicity Flyer also starting to run on. Le Havre is flat to the boards now as Miranda Frost paws under pressure and picks it up, coming inside the final 200. It's Miranda Frost drawing away in the closing stages. Nothing more from Le Havre, and Miranda Frost, very impressive, draws off to win it in some style. Chill Baby, Chill up for second. Le Havre back in third. Felicity Flyer behind that. Kenny Chicks further back. Breakout kicked on well after.
Well, why we put this up was because if you were a fan of the show and you watched a couple of weeks ago when this filly won her first time out, we said this was one of the best 2-year-olds we've seen. She won emphatically. She came out at 3-1. You could have got 3-1 on Interbet for as much as you like, 33-10 in some places on Interbet. And how'd she win? She beat the 9-8 to 10 shot Motherless. Yeah. This is a very, very good filly.
Very good filly.
We just reiterated. It's Maritzfontein and bred by Wilgerbosdrift and Maritzfontein Partnership, and Jessica owns it. And this filly, I think, is the best 2-year-old we've seen so far. So stick with her. She's very good. I don't know if Jay Ramsden's going to bring her to Durban, but if he is, they're going to have to find something with wings to beat it. We're going to move on, and we're going to have a look at our current affairs, where we've got some very interesting racing, including the Krabby's Grand National.
Yes! If you love soccer and you play the tote, you won't believe what Interbet has to offer you, or the excitement of tote betting on your computer or your cell phone. It's simple. Choose your teams and your bets, work out what your combinations will cost, see how big the pool is, and place your bets. You can even track your bet live as it happens and get updates on your progress. It's all the fun of the tote on your phone. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now at www.interbet.co.za and you could be a winner.
Well, there you are, the graduate of the week, Abashiri, who won the second leg of the Triple Crown, going for the Triple Crown, Go Deputy out of that great race mare, Donya. He was 400,000 Rand, National Yearling Sales graduate. National Yearling Sales are only 2 weeks away, 2.5 weeks away.
Yeah,
it's the other horse that was a graduate was obviously Legal Eagle as well. But these two horses, both National Yearling Sales graduates. Yeah. And we've now got all types of things going on. But let me tell you, Abashiri, one of the best horses the Furans will ever buy, and they bought him at the National Yearling Sales. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to have a look at our 3 to follow, our current affairs, and we had 2 feature races in KwaZulu-Natal on Friday night. We started off with the Bailey Turk, which is for 3-year-olds. It gives you a very good idea of where the 3-year-olds are at the beginning of the season, and it's a 1,400 meter at Grable. It was a very nice race. Let's go and see what we've got here.
Races 3 lengths off. Towards the inside, Mumbo Mime. They're racing 4 lengths off. Further back is Irish Pride in about 8th position. Bunker Bill recovers to the inside, Executive Power. Mr. Roy must be 9 lengths off the leaders. Baritone 1 out and back. Spanish Captain. Budapest by 3 parts of a length. Stable Companion, Red Carpet Captain looks to make a move the blinkers. Ernie Aspar await their turn. Victorious J's 3 lengths off. Beat the Retreat. Mumbo Mines looking for some luck towards the inside. Victorious J between runners. Victorious J got 2 lengths to make up. Budapest still gallops on the inside. Ernie's right there. Baritone starts up his motor on the outside with Executive Power. Wide open. Baritone's running on. Budapest and Ernie over the last 100. Baritone with a sweeping run. Budapest, Ernie, Mumbo Mime's exploding through. Here comes the line. Mumbo Mime just won it from Baritone, Budapest and Ernie.
Yeah, very good win by Mambo Mine from the Red Hot Dean Canamair stable. Stu Randolph teaming up with him, and as you know, him and Stewie have got a big trophy in the cabinet from when they were together a year ago. James, a close finish and a good finish.
Very good finish. This horse met the second horse, Baritone, on quite a lot better terms.
Yeah.
And at the draw, it had a lot going for it and certainly looked like the right horse. Bred by Aventure and a national yearling sales by as well. Field Spring own it. Dean Canamair, as we say, he's red hot at the moment. You know, it's amazing when stables are in form. They're in proper form.
Oh, they're in form,
because then we can go and look at the Umzinkulu Stakes, which is the fillies version. And this horse looked to have absolutely no chance on its form and on the betting and everything. But Dean Canamair came to the fore again and won this with a 33-1 shot. Let's go and have a look.
The 1,000 peg, 3 lengths off the leaders, 20's Collateral. Trip to India is no more than 4 lengths off them. Killer Woman to the stand side, the green cap. La Skipper Beat 7 lengths off, then Bella Sonata. Taffety Tot is the trailer, racing 10 lengths off them. Settling down towards the 700-metre area, Our Destiny on a double hold. Joan Ranger now looms large and picks it up, along with Our Destiny. From afar, Tonya. Flying Isis sitting patiently towards the inside. 20's Collateral, then comes Trip to India. Homeward bound, Joan Ranger takes on Our Destiny. From afar, Tonya's down the middle of the course. Flying Ice has got 2 lengths to trace down. From afar's running a huge race down the middle of the course. Bella Sonata, Joan Ranger, Flying Ice, 20's Collateral and Tonya. From afar has her head in front with 50 metres to go. Joan Ranger, but from afar's going to do it. Flying Ice up for second, Joan Ranger third. Your pick, 20's Collateral, Bella Sonata in photos with Tonya.
Well, a quick double for Dean Canamair, and this time using Brian Yao. Nice to see him ride this Group 3 winner. It travelled deep all the way, but just had too much for them, James.
Yeah, Lamas Kraal bred is by Trippy. You know, Trippy,
Yeah.
they're firing like out of an imported American mare, Big Mona. And this filly, she won it, and Flying Ice had won a stakes race last year. She ran second, so who knows? You know, this filly might be a lot better than her form suggests, but she's had quite a few runs. She's had 347 days since the last win, and she was only a one-time winner. She looked like she had no chance in this race, but there you are. Just shows you.
Flying Ice, good run, James, down the inside.
Very good run from her. The sadness of the race was that Bella was scratched. She got injured in transit. Apparently, Justin told me that he thought he'd be smart and send them with John Fox, the horses, and she got injured in John Fox's float because, you know, we got the teething problems with new turf.
Sure.
And that. But things seem to be working out there. Our Destiny ran away with the blinkers on, so that did whatever chance that had. That looked like it had a chance. I'm not sure. I think Flying Ice might be the best of this lot to come out of this race. But we're going to move on and have a look at the last 2,000 metres of the Krabbies Grand National. And why we picked this out was the last 2,000 metres. Lots of things happened in this race, but the favourite, who was the winner last year, Many Clouds, was absolutely cantering. You'll see it on the inside. And it makes a mistake about 4 outs. And when you make a mistake, it knocks all the stuffing out of a horse. It shows you what happens to a horse when they lose their breathing patterns or whatever. And in a race, in a flat race, in a steeplechase or anything, that's the end of them. They find it very difficult to recover because the horse has got to be on an even breathing pattern. But we'll chat about the result after the race. Let's go and pick him up.
By Double Ross, who jumped up well. Rule the World is just behind the leader. Sol is pulled up. The Druid's Nephew is being pulled up. Wonderful Charm has also been pulled up at the back of the field. The leaders make the run down towards Beechers. And it's the Last Samurai from Many Clouds. Double Ross, Le Rêve, Vieux Rouge making a bit of ground on the inside. Vic's Canvas. Leaders get over it safely. Uccello Conti making ground on the inside. Lost one towards the rear of the field. Katenko came down there as well. And also One Night in Vienna. Arkan has been pulled up. Over the Foinhaven they go. Many Clouds leading them as they now head towards the canal turn for the Last Samurai. Vieux Rouge and Le Rêve right behind the leaders with Vic's Canvas. St. Ara's lost a couple of positions, and then Double Ross and Rule the World and shut the front door, and Gil Gamboa. Uccello Conti and Morning Assembly out over the canal turn. The leaders go. They get over it safely. Triolo Delaine makes a mistake. Back in the field, Cruz Linen is last of those still going as the leaders now head towards Valentine's, led by Many Clouds.
Black Thunder was another one
one who was pulled up. Home Farm has also been pulled up, and it is now the Last Samurai who leads. Many Clouds in second, Le Rev is in third, Vix Canvas now racing in fourth. Shut the Front Door is trying to make ground. Vieux Leon Rouge is next as they go over the next, and Many Clouds makes a bad mistake. Pulling up at the back of the field is Double Ross, a bad mistake when tailed off by Union East. So it is now the Last Samurai. The one who's out very wide is Morning Assembly, who's right there on the premises as they go over the open ditch, and a bad mistake there, a shuddering error by Rule the World. Pulling up at the back of the field is Cruise Linen, so they've got 3 to jump in the Grand National, and the leader is the Last Samurai. 2 in second place, Vix Canvas. Many Clouds is on the inside, Morning Assembly towards their outside. They're then being followed by Gil Gamboa. The grey Bally Casey is trying to make ground. Le Rev now begins to weaken as they cross over the Melling Road with 2 fences to take in the National. It's Morning Assembly towards the outside of the Last Samurai, and there, right on the inside, back in third, is Vix Canvas.
So they're on the way towards 2 out in the National. The Last Samurai with a small lead from out wider Morning Assembly. Vix Canvas, the veteran, is right there with every chance, but slightly squeezed up against the rail. Many Clouds is under pressure next, and then can Gil Gamboa as they work down towards the penultimate fence. And it's the Last Samurai who shows the way under David Bass from Vix Canvas. Morning Assembly, Rule the World and Gil Gamboa. Then came Uccello Conti, followed by Many Clouds, who's hard under pressure. Then Vieux Leon Rouge at 2 from the end. The Last Samurai rose the leader from Vix Canvas in second, Rule the World back in third, then Gil Gamboa. Bally Casey's gone in behind those at the second last as they come to the final fence, and Vix Canvas joins level now with the Last Samurai. Over in third, Rule the World, Gil Gamboa in fourth, then Uccello Conti and Vieux Leon Rouge now the running ahead of them, and Vix Canvas draws alongside the Last Samurai. Rule the World is staying on to the outside, Gil Gamboa back in fourth. They approach the elbow, 3 with a chance. Vix Canvas toward the rail, the Last Samurai in the centre, and here's Rule the World on the outside, who's coming home strongest of all, and it's Rule the World, the horse who's never previously won a race over fences. He's going to win the biggest one of them all here, and it's Rule the World who wins the National for Mouse Morris, and a dream first ride for 19-year-old David Mullins. Rule the World won the National, beat the Last Samurai. Vix
Well, shoo, James, it's a tough race, but the guts some of these horses show.
Oh, it's everyone involved. You know, Mouse Morris, the trainer, he's started training for Gigginstown, which is O'Leary. Michael O'Leary is the CEO of Ryan Air. They're big in the jumping now, really big.
That's helped.
And he won the Grand National, Irish Grand National 3 weeks ago, Mouse Morris. And they won the Gold Cup, the Cheltenham Gold Cup as well, with someone else. So it just shows you, you get the support, because Mouse has been around for a long time. He was a very good rider himself, and the kid that rode it, David Mullins, first ride, 19 years old. You know, it just a dream come true for someone.
Who rode the runner-up? Bess.
Mike's cousin. Yeah.
Mike's cousin, Mike Bess's cousin.
Yeah.
He rode. Well, good to see him there. Led all the way the Last Samurai. But getting back to Mouse Morris, he'd lost his son some years back, and it'd been tragic times for him. So this is great for him to get some.
Great for him, and this horse fractured his pelvis twice before it ended up winning this. So it just shows you patience is the virtue with any racehorse. A couple of things. Shadwell were big buys at English Sale, and Mike de Kock bought 2 out of South African mares. Chocolicious was the one. By Frankel, he paid $675, and the other one was Rafis, which is Rafis's brother, which was out of National Colour.
National Colour,
yeah,
that's right.
$1.75 million. As far as the rest is concerned, the Kentucky Derby is obviously big, and there's an Uncle Mo's that looks like it might be another one.
Because Horse of the Year was Uncle Mo last year, you know, Nyquist or something. So.
Yeah, Nyquist. Well, he's the big one, and Uncle Mo's now got another one getting ready for, who won the Wood Memorial, a horse called Artwork from Pletcher. Wood Memorial, remembers, for 3 and 4 year olds. And then Curlin has one that won the Santa Anita Derby called Exaggerator, and then Magdagliadora produced the winner of the Santa Anita Oaks. So that's
very interesting.
Good stuff there. Just in wrapping, because we've got to wrap this up before we get to speak to Mr. Hillary, Kai Cheong won 4 races. Kai Cheong. She's an apprentice, an apprentice, won 4 races at Sharton on Sunday. So she put Dougie White and those boys' noses out, all of them. This apprentice won 4 races. She'd won 40 races out of her 500 rides in New Zealand. So she's obviously ridden before.
Kai Chong.
Yeah.
Remember the name.
And just, if you're into reading, which I know you are, Barry Owen's got a new book out, which he's written, which, as they say, is a great read. It's called Derby Innovator: The Making of Animal Kingdom.
Sounds
and if
like
you
a
know
good
Barry
modest
Owen,
read.
he'll have something to say, which will be interesting. So we're going to wrap it up, and we're going to be back with Carl Hillary. We're getting screamed at, so
it's Ryan Hillary, James.
Ryan Hillary. Sorry, Carl Abbott.
Yeah.
But we will be back with Ryan Hillary, Ryanair, and enjoy this next race before you see all about how to get to the Breeders' Cup this year.
Hi, welcome to Your Call. We've got Ryan Hillary. Now, Ryan Hillary, just to fill you in, he'll tell us a bit more about himself, but he's the son of Catbox. Everyone knows Alan Hillary and his brother Don, who've been racing men here. They raced a lot of horses with Alec Laird over the years, two lunatics from Hillary. And with that surname, it's a wonderful style. But Ryan, you're cut from a different cloth. I can see that to the whole end. Let me start with how you got involved in doing this type of travels or tours.
Yeah, about 6-7 years ago, I started a sports travel company. It was more focused on the golf market.
Yeah.
After about a year or two, we broke away and tried to just offer a brand that was a bit more universal, so with more of the general sports travel offering. 6 years down the line, we are doing a lot. Our core business is corporate sports travel, obviously incentive and client relation travel, events activation and management. We own a couple of our own events and manage some for certain corporate. And so getting involved in this today is obviously through a sort of inherited love for horse racing through my dad and my uncle, and that we have looked at certain things in the past, and also reasons why we're getting involved with Phil is his successes in Dubai and stuff like that is a reason why we wanted to try and join forces with him to go to the Breeders' Cup.
I think Ryan, it's a very good idea. I know he's done it before. He went over there and
yes.
You've got lots of connections, he's got lots of connections. Coming together is the right thing, and there's lots of great tours, right around the racing spectrums today. There's derbies and Royal Ascots and Breeders' Cup. There's a lot to come. So you guys have specially tagged yourself because of the South African interest. Let's talk the horse racing part before we talk about the full package. I believe you'd spoken with Alec Laird.
Yes. After being approached by one of our major corporates, we sort of sat down a bit and gave it a bit more thought with regards to what sort of concept to generate for the public to be interested in, and not just something that was a run-of-the-mill type travel product. So we got a hold of obviously with Smart Call being involved and having been invited to race in the Phillies and Mares turf race, we contacted Alec. Alec was very excited about the idea off the cuff and said to give it a day or two for him to think about it, and we ended up discussing it again, and he's chatted to Jessica from what I know, and there's basically a lot of excitement, teams all in, and it's all systems go. From a point of view of us going there with the concept of being a supporters tour for small
It's
school.
a South African supporters tour.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if you know the answers. Is Noah from Goa going to be going on the same route? Any ideas?
I don't know that. I know, is it Banbury from Alex Yard?
Yeah.
I know that is Smartcore's travelling companion.
Okay.
I think she's planned to be covered over in the UK, so she's in Mauritius with Smartcore at the moment. But yeah, from a point of view of Noah from Goa, I'm not too sure.
So it's wonderful, and Smart Call has shown herself to be a really good filly, having won the Met, beaten Legal Eagle so comfortably. All right, so now, how does one go about this? Now, I know you sat down with Phil, you discussed it. Let's try and define it. Let's have a look. There is a slide, I believe we got. Let's have a look. Raymond, have you got that slide? Here we go. This is very good. It's Las Vegas and Breeders' Cup Touring Package, for those of you who can't read. And there it is. It's got all that in there, and there's information on the bottom. So we'll leave that slide up for a moment, and there are the famous silks. Tell me about the Las Vegas part. Now that could interest a couple of the gamblers in this country.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, trying to create something unique. Taking guys straight into the event and spending a week around Santa Anita may have ended up becoming quite limited. So to amplify the gambling experience for certain types of, obviously the race goes, and that will sort of be a bit more intrigued with that. So we thought, well, why not fly in via Vegas? Going to have a bit of fun, a lot of golfing options, Grand Canyon, all the evening shows,
yes,
of all different sorts of categories. So that is definitely a standout at the moment from what we've been discussing with our certain clients. And
what length of period of time are you talking?
We're looking to stay 3 nights in Las Vegas.
And then how many in LA?
And then there'll be a 1-hour flight from there to Burbank in Los Angeles.
To Burbank, okay.
Yes, and then we will be there for 4 nights.
So it's a 8-9 day package, all told, flying in and out. Okay.
Yes.
Would you break it down? If someone says, I want to gamble, I don't want to go to Vegas, I want to go straight into racing, can you accommodate people?
100%. That's obviously also one of the benefits of being involved with Phil's office.
Yes.
With our business not being an IATA ticket issuing agent, we aren't set up that way as a company. Phil's office will be handling all the logistics side of the tour. So if guys do want to break away, change the logistics of their tour, leave a certain part of it out or extend, they're more than welcome to do that.
Right, and then going to Santa Anita, what I can say about Santa Anita is my old stomping ground. I applied my trade at Santa Anita. It's an absolutely beautiful place. And San Andreas Mountains are down there. In the Breeders' Cup, it's going to be obviously the creme de la creme of that type of racing, but there'll be a lot of people coming in. How do you secure accommodation and things like that early?
Well, I got straight in touch through certain contacts, got straight in touch with the Breeders' Cup organising party there, and we've gotten hold of their group sales department, who I've been working with over the last 2 weeks. We are, another part of the uniqueness of it is we don't want to send people to an event like the Breeders' Cup and not be able to provide them with a decent enough viewing of the event.
Yes.
So we've managed to secure the typical turf club boxes that you see in the US, in the grandstands, the cubicles. We've got 10 of those on hold at the moment with 6 people per box. So we've currently got space for 60 people.
If you go above there, what happens? You make
We've
more
got access to it at the moment, but the huge catch here at this stage is that they've got a pre-sale open on the 8th or 9th of May. It's a pre-sale that goes out to a certain part of their racing community that have access to secure seating prior to their main sales online on the 9th of June, I think it is. So we've got that at the moment. If we want to extend it before that date, we'll probably be able to. But the beauty of it now is we've got it in, it's almost like a block booking, so everyone in our tour would be all sitting together in adjacent boxes.
That's very good. I know the setup well. And getting to stable yard, I know security with the Californian Horse Racing Board is very strict, and that's where you and Phil need to call up your markers, the Trevor Denmans of this world, and people like that, to try and, in accordance with Alec, get access to maybe have a look at the setup.
Yes, that is the answer. I've been chatting to Alec as well and got some information from him yesterday that we will obviously have to wait for the exact dates and times, and there's obviously a lot of where the horses do some work and different promotions. He said there are at the track where the horses appear, but the one beauty of it too is we will be able to get to do that at some sort of level. But Alec and the team are very keen to engage with our group. Offer us the ability to be able to communicate with them.
It's wonderful to have that support, Ryan, and they've got what they call Clocker's Corner, where people come down in the morning. Every horse is clocked in the morning, and it goes into the press. the racing press every day. So a lot of people do come down and watch them do their final works or their prep works, and cantering on the outside, half pace in the middle, fast work on the fence. It's very organised. And okay, now let me ask you a few more questions. What else can you add in the sense of what else can people look forward to?
Okay, you know, basically, like I said, we've got that space available. So the important thing I wanted to note was time is sort of the essence on our side.
What dates are you looking at? Sorry.
Well, with regards to securing those seats that we've got in the stand, we will lose those on the 9th of May. So we need prompt we are moving quite quickly. We do, like I said, we do have a market that's requested this from us already anyway.
Sure, so you've got
we've probably got about 50 to 60% of the space available still.
Fantastic.
But we're expecting it to move quite quickly
what
anyway.
What date do the people who are going to support Smart Call leave the country?
We'll leave on the 28th of October.
So it gives you time. It gives you time to get things put in place, and you'll have your numbers by then. But I think it's important you can secure those seats.
Sure, no, 100%. That's what it's all about. You know, one of the important points about the whole trip as well, which in speaking to Alec, speaking to Phil, and by using the concept of being a Smart Call supporters tour, was we wanted to make it. You know, I was quite concerned about it with Alec, and I said to him, I don't want us marketing a package where in all reality there are certain things that can happen out there where she may not get there, and you know, please God, those things don't happen.
Sure.
For all the connections involved, but it's a reality, and we don't want the public coming back to us with a problem that maybe it was our concept we pushed and thought it was guaranteed. All race goers will know that it's not guaranteed.
That's right.
We didn't want them to go either to the lead stable or to the connections of the horse.
So you made it a good tour. People can get to see California, can get to see Nevada.
That's the primary objective, is to go and see the Breeders' Cup and experience. You know, you've been to experience this lavish day of racing. I suppose people going to Dubai and going to this are going to experience two very different experiences.
Yeah, two different experiences. But both wonderful. You know, I've done them both, and I've been to Vegas. Vegas is very organised, and they say you better play golf, you better go on their rounds, you better go on their casinos. So you're marketing the packages. Come out, see Vegas, see the Breeders' Cup, and hopefully, all things being equal, come and see our champion filly.
Exactly. You know, we were looking the other day. I've started following the Maritz Fontaine and Alex's Facebook page, and seeing certain things being said, and I just noticed the Maritz Fontaine page, I think, said she was the joint 6th highest rated horse in the world or something at the moment, and the highest rated filly.
That's fantastic.
Which is very interesting, you know. So going into that fillies and mares turf race, looks like she's got to have some sort of a decent chance. So like I said to Alec the other day, you know, in reality, if she wins and people see the value in taking this sort of a chance to go and be there in a once in a lifetime opportunity, which has also, I believe, been a dream of Jessica's for a long time. Imagine she does win, and the experience that we'll be able to sort of put towards the group, and also obviously also amplify for the connections, which would be great.
Alec has obviously been one of the pioneers after sending London news overseas and opening the doors for all of us to travel in some form. And I just wanted to know that when you're dealing with a price on something like this, we have a fluctuating rand. It must make it difficult for you.
It is. Obviously, I had no intention of coming out today to talk about a price either.
No, of course.
We're still working through one or two of those things, but what we do is we just quote everything at an exchange rate. So, you know, obviously later on, as we make final payments and things fluctuate, you pay to that rate. Yeah,
well,
at the moment, it's a bit risky for us to, or for anybody to be dedicating a rate with our leader in charge. So it's making it a bit hard.
You're right. You've got to be very careful. It does fluctuate, and so to make it a successful tour, you've secured 60 seats. Will that be great? What happens if you start getting a few more? I know you say you can order a few more. You're not going to cap it, are you? If people want to come and support this concept,
we wish we didn't have to do sorts of things like that. And the main priority here, I think, is the seats available at this particular type of event. And secondly, the culture that I have within my business has always been to deal with people as personally as possible. So being on the trip myself and guiding, just like Phil's going to be, we all want to look after our clients personally, give them a lot more of a sort of one-on-one feel. So Phil and I would be looking to look after a bus each. Now, if we had 200 people there at an event like that, I feel this type of event, we'd probably lose a lot of the
personal touch.
A lot of the personal touch and logistical sort of points where we are on. We're sort of on mark with people from day to day. I don't want to bump into somebody that says hello to me. I don't even know he's on my own tour.
Yeah, correct.
So that's one of the reasons to try and keep, because the guy's going to be paying good money to go to this, we want to keep it sort of up there in the top levels of looking after them and make sure that they know who we are, we know who they are, and the experience is better.
Right, now the obvious question is going to be how can people get hold of you? Raymond, if you've still got that slide up on the bottom of that slide are the two names. A lot of people know Phil Giorgio from Let's Go Travel. He's been doing these tours. Both his name and Ryan's name will be there. Have a look on the bottom. There's Phil Giorgio's number and there's Ryan Hillary's number. If you feel like just finding out, as I say, for more information, get hold of one of these two guys. Ryan, anything else to add before we wrap?
No, that's it. Thanks very much for having us on the show.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful, and the more we can get to see our horses compete overseas, the better.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
Thanks.
just before we knock it off, our sponsors had a few winners. The Magic Millions have had a couple of horses, 3 horses in fact, do well in the last week, and the slide should come up for that any moment as well. Here we go, successful Magic Millions graduates, Street Flyer, the Flying Spur, and then Duke of Marmalade's horse, Marmalady, and Make It Rain by New Approach. So Magic Millions graduates having another wonderful week here. That concludes a very good interview with Ryan Hillary. We'll get to know more about it. Just pick up the phone him or Phil Giorgio, and try and get on this wonderful tour.